Dear friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Friends, today I'm gonna speak about four basic components or characteristics of building a foundation of speaking English language. So let me tell you, these four principles are the pillars that determine the fluency, confidence, and proper, speaking. So these four principles are components are first, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. That's why in short they are called LSRW. Friends, any aspirant who wants to speak English, he has to understand that it can only be learned through, when he tries to speak all the time and try to be in the environment, and he tries to be in the environment of speaking where most of the people speaks the language, or you know so humans tendency or behavior is to mimic, imitate the behavior of others, the body language of others, the kind of expression. And I'm just giving you an example. Small baby that learns from not only from the language that the mother speaks, but he learns through the gestures, through the postures, and through the kind of the body language, and then the interaction is not only with the spoken words, but for the small baby it is just because of the gestures, postures, emotions, and these factors. So just let me tell you that any stranger that comes around the baby, the baby becomes uncomfortable if others try to speak the baby, because all of a sudden he does not understand the person's body language, and therefore either he cries or he does not respond. So this is very crucial thing to understand, that try to just minimize the vernacular, the dialect, local language. Just reducing the amount, the quantity that you speak in the spoken format. So you have to do this very clearly and just listen as much as you can, because listening inspires the person to put an endeavor or effort towards the accomplishing the target of speaking. So person learns. It's a human being tendency. The human learns from imitation, from listening, and then in the first case it comes listening. If you go through the grammar drill, grammar practice, and all of that, you would not be able to accomplish the target. I have seen people most of the life they spent, but still without the piece of paper they cannot speak. This is the problem. So it has to be understood very clearly, loud and clear, that you can only speak the language through first listening, then speaking. First be a good listener. Try to listen the people who are expert, like big medias. They speak in English. Try to understand. And as I have given example, baby learns from the mother because he understands the mother's body language. So first of all, try to learn by listening. This first, tool is very important, without any grammar, and let yourself make mistakes, because it's a human tendency. Because as you were a baby, you learned walking by falling down a again and again and again, and then ultimately you stood on your feet and you start walking. So of course, yes, it is a track that is not comfortable. That is not easy for the person who is speaking any other language. It is only you. It's also very easy to understand. You have to follow these four basic principles, components that are there. Try to listen. Try to listen to a good speaker. Then try to imitate. Try to follow the tone, the body language, the expression, all these things. These are very, very important things. So it's be very genuine in your approach to try to understand that language is not a journey of one day or a week or a month. It's a constant process, and therefore one has to actually follow the constant process to understand this basic principle. So, being very transparent, it builds personality. It offers you many, achievements. You become a public speaker, and it removes the fear, unwanted fear. So, dear friends, these crucial points are to be understood very, very clearly that there is only a way out. First, listen carefully, attentively to the speaker and try to understand what he wants to convey and what is his, pronunciation in body language and expression. These are very, very important things. So, these parameters are to be, and these things are enshrined to these four components. They are deeply connected. If you leave anything out, you will not accomplish or achieve a desired outcome. So, you cannot say that people are not speaking, therefore you cannot speak. There are a lot of tools available to the technology. You can use the speakers, repeat the video, listen very carefully, attentively, and then try to imitate or mimic. These are the certain things. If you want to follow the rote learning, just what people do, the blunder, that they write the sentences, they write the dialogues, and ultimately they are not able to achieve it. The only way out is that you have to be very, very particular in terms of listening the people, and then by mimicking, by imitating, just you have to speak. Then write something that you are going to speak. Read something. So this builds a confidence. This builds, you have to be very, very persistent in approach. A will are. If there is a will, there is a way. And try to get away from the negative people. They hamper your ability to excel, to surpass, to reach to the outcome that you want to accomplish. They talk that what will you do with this kind. So this has to be avoided. And I am very sure that one day, if you practice it, you will be or would be able to speak this language confidently, fluently, efficiently, and properly. So, dear friends, this is the world where communication matters. Where if you want to ensure your growth and development, you have to follow these paths. And certainly this is not a work of one day, a week, or a fortnight. It's not a momentary job. You have to be very, very consistent, determined, and you must have a deep resolution to reach to the out. And I have seen people have done the degrees, even they have done the masters, but they are not able to speak because they didn't try and don't try to speak, and therefore there is a problem. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. May God bless you.